Welcome all to today's Dashcam Diary of a Disabled. My face is really swollen this morning. I feel like throwing up. I feel very nauseous. My appointment for the chiro starts in 5 minutes and I'm barely even leaving town. I just feel like throwing up. And some of it's the medication, some of it's the food I ate right before I went to bed. Yeah, I ate too much sugar. I just ate a spoonful of my ginger honey to try and help settle my stomach. Since I'm driving, I can't really smoke my stuff to help calm the stomach down. I have to wait until I get back home, where I'm home and safe and able to consume my medical MJ. Yeah, I'm just extremely nauseous this morning. This is the most nauseous I've been in forever. I started getting a POTS episode, almost I was definitely getting a drop in blood pressure when I got up, or when I was moving around too fast to leave the house. Oh boy, I don't feel good. I may have just had too many meds in my system last night too. A little bit too late. So it could be that too. I don't know. It could be a combination of so many different things. The too much sugar, too late at night, not getting enough sleep, because I didn't fall asleep until almost 1 or after 1. Wasn't very restful asleep, but now I know for sure. Well, I don't know for sure, but I'm pretty darn positive because of the flavor of the popsicle I ate, which is the sugar I ate too late last night. I just had munchies and I really wanted to do some sugar, and it was the last thing we had left. And I know that I'm sensitive to grape flavoring, and that could very well be why I'm nauseous this morning on top of medications. Mast Cell Activation Syndrome is crazy. It acts up for not really no reason. If you consume some of your known triggers. And I know that sugar creates more inflammation, and so everything is inflamed, including my face. I don't know why I keep doing this to myself. I keep consuming items that I know I shouldn't consume and put in my mouth, and then I just feel horrible about it the next day, physically, symptom-wise. Just want to vomit. I just don't feel good. I tried to put my camouflage on, my veteran hat on, my Zebra Strong bracelet on, and then my new squeezy thing bracelet to test out to see how durable it is. Today's a new day. This too shall pass. It will get better. It doesn't seem like it at the moment, but it will. I'm doing all the things to make myself feel better. I was watching a video about somebody, another YouTuber. They got millions of subscribers and stuff, and I haven't really watched too much of their content. Some of their content seems kind of silly. I don't even know how old this kid is, this guy. He's emo. I just go down rabbit holes on YouTube all the time and find people, just like I hope people find me. So I try to do likes and follows to people that I actually enjoy their content. Sometimes it takes me a while to get into their content if I really truly want to subscribe. So I don't know how other people's YouTube habits are, but that's mine. I do like to find new content creators and hopefully in the future do some collaborations, which would be amazing. like so low. My subscriber count is so low, nobody wants to collab with me right now. But if any of y'all do, please let me know. I'm all down for it. I'm in Oregon though, so I don't know how many collaborators or YouTubers there are in Oregon. That should be a stat that I look up and see if there are such stats to each state and how many YouTubers there are that are somewhat successful and have like large followings. That's not necessarily what I'm going after. I really just want to have like a good, solid, reliable group of people that like to watch my content. It's not really all about the numbers. It is to a certain extent, but my channel is more for inspiration for you all to keep going despite all the problems and despite feeling embarrassed about being vulnerable online. And it's hard. It's really hard to be vulnerable, and especially posted online. Like I said, sometimes some of my content doesn't make it up, but this YouTuber I was watching this morning kind of hit the nail on the head. Like, when you get to a certain subscriber point, you get like so much criticism for every little thing that you do and post and say, and I don't know if that's necessarily what I want, but I do put content out there, so I realize and understand that I am putting this out there to be criticized, along with hopefully to inspire others to keep doing what they're passionate and happy about and what they want to do with their lives. Like, I just want to be happy. It's not realistic to be happy 24/7, but because life is full of ups and downs, and it's a balancing act of feelings and emotions and experiences and relationships, friendships that you make. I feel like that's what life is all about, is sharing your stories and experiences and things with others. Sharing is caring. I learned that in kindergarten, you guys. Sharing is caring. Remember having show and tell back in the day in elementary school? I don't know what generations, how things have changed in public schools since I've never had children to be able to compare my childhood, schoolhood experience, public schools versus now. However, if I did have children, I'm pretty darn sure I wouldn't allow them to go to public school, because I don't know if I really agree with a lot of the curriculum and what is being taught, and then all the bullies and the cyberbullying, and I mean, that is a lot for a parent to deal with their child. I mean, those things have gotten so much more exaggerated this day and age with social media. Everything is blown up out of proportion and amplified by online. I'm trying to use online as a good thing, as a platform to therapy myself, to help therapy others if they want it or need it, to help inspire, to follow your dreams. Anything is possible. Anything is possible that you put your mind to. You just have to want it bad enough. No matter how bad I want to be not sick and ill, I am, and I accept that, and I also grieve that regularly. I have to grieve regularly about what I no longer am capable of doing with the condition that my body is in. It is too hard to modify everything in life. I do modify my life a lot to be able to enjoy it and do be happy as much as I can. That is my goal in life, though, is to live till I'm 100. I mean, that's like goal number 1, live till I'm 100. Goal number 2, experience as much as life has to offer. I have a fear of missing out. Like, I have FOMO. Like, I want to experience all that life has to offer. And I want good, positive experiences. And which brings me to some experiences that I talked with about my Navy days with a friend yesterday, a college friend. I'm going to be delivering my kayak that has been sitting around pressure washed it and destroyed some of the foam on the inside, but it's still a wonderful kayak and it still works. I mean, it's not going to sink or anything. But yeah, there were some holes in the styrofoam where I had pressure washed because some rodents wanted to make a nest up in it, because it's been sitting outside my parents' house in the yard for like a year now, over a year. It was in my storage unit until my nephew wanted to borrow it, and then once he borrowed it, I never put it back in because my storage unit is a mess. It is an absolute disaster. A somewhat organized disaster, but I need to go through stuff. I need to get rid of things. I need to move on. I feel like my storage unit is kind of, in a way, holding me back from really going forward with what I want to do with the rest of my life. I want to be more of a minimalist, honestly. I'm tired of carrying so much baggage around with me. I'm a single female at 43 years old. 43 years old. And I'm paying like $135 to store my stuff that I barely even use. If I don't even use it now, or barely use it now, like, one of my things when I go through my storage and try and get rid of stuff is like, if I haven't used it for more than like a year or two, it needs to go. Either donate, throw it away, or hand it down to somebody else. I might try to sell something, but I honestly hate selling things online. I do not tolerate flakes very well. The military taught me, discipline and follow through with what you say you're gonna do. And even sometimes I can't follow through with some things, but I usually always make aware of the person. If I am trying to cancel plans on somebody, I will do it ahead of time and let them know. Sorry, it's just not possible. But that is also why I do not commit to very many things either, because I don't know what I'm going to feel like each day. Every day is a new day that I wake up, and every day is a new set of symptoms or instability that I got to deal with. Oh, my stomach is finally starting to calm down a teeny bit. Not much, but some. As I'm slowly waking up. I had to bring my medicine bag with me because I couldn't even take all of those before I left. Just, my stomach's uneasy. It's hard to take medication and supplements on an empty stomach when it's upset. Usually, I don't even notice my stomach being upset in the mornings. Usually it's just not hungry, and I just go about my day. But really, what I eat right before bed really does set the tone for the very next day. And I really was kind of curious. I was curious to see if I was going to be, have any kind of reaction for eating the flavor that I shouldn't have ate a popsicle. Artificial or natural, it does not matter. Artificial's worse. But now I know for sure I have to avoid grape everything. It sucks because I can't enjoy wine that's made out of grapes. Not that I really drink alcohol, I really don't drink, but on the very rare occasion that I do, I really have a hard time choosing what I should drink because of my mast cell issues, mast cell activation syndrome. Fermented goods are not very good for mast cell activated people. Anything old, leftovers, can't have leftovers because the histamine builds up. The more you cool something down and reheat it, the more histamine builds up over time. And that's why things like avocados and bananas are really hard for some people that have mast cell activation syndrome. A lot of my triggers are environmental triggers like trees, grasses, and molds outside, which I live near the Willamette Valley in Oregon, and that is like the worst place for most allergies because of all the vegetation and all the different types, because we have quite the combination of trees and grasses and everything, and I'm allergic to all of them, pretty much. So it's not like I have major allergies during allergy season. It's like year-round allergies and stuffiness. My nose tickles even more. So I'm allergic to did my allergy test, my scratch test on my back. I did it 3 different times just to try and get an average of what my mast cell triggers could be, so I could try and eliminate them. I had to go down to basically a bare bones diet of like just bone broth. At one point, I still had the most disordered eating ever. I have medical anorexia because I'm not anorexic because I do eat. I eat every single day. But I do have very disordered eating because of my Mast Cell Activation Syndrome. I cannot have things with yeast. I also have celiac disease. So that was the very first dietary change I had to make and learn how to cope with not eating gluten. That was so hard to change over a long time ago when it was very first a thing before they even make good processed food products for gluten-free, which I don't eat that very many of because they all have some kind of ingredient that I can't have in it. Like I'm allergic to vanilla. That's one of my triggers. So anything baked goods, like even gluten-free baked goods, anything with vanilla extract, a no-go. Anything with coconut oil or coconut anything, no-go, which is in hair products, toothpaste, foods, baked goods, like coconut oil, and coconut is in like everything. Coconut water, like I cannot have anything with coconut. Otherwise I end up sick to my stomach. At times, crawly skin, like bugs are crawling all over me when it's my hair follicles. Like I feel like my hair follicles are moving, and like everything that touches me, like tight skin. Like that's why I wear loose clothes a lot of the time, because my skin feels absolutely crawly and like rashy. Because I just cannot avoid all my mast cell activation triggers. I cannot avoid them all. I am always at the tipping point of my mast cell bucket being overloaded, and the more things I do on purpose to eat to see if I get a reaction to try to reintroduce that food, every time I can't do it. I tried allergy shots too. My body, just because of mast cell activation syndrome, it didn't work. Sometimes it can for people work with mast cell and allergy shots, but for me it just does not. It sucks. My immune system does not work. I have primary immunodeficiency disease that's not being treated for, which I haven't even called to check the status of to see where I am in the insurance authorization process. Same with my pain management doctor that he has EDS herself. I haven't checked on that at all either to see where that process is. I'm just trying to go with the flow. I'm trying to be less stressed because stress also causes mast cell activation problems and symptoms. Like anything can trigger your mast cell activation syndrome. Like if it's not your bucket overflowing with mast cell triggers like environmental, trees, allergens, chemical smells, synthetic binders inside my medications, make my load a little higher every day. I take my medications. Any medication I take for a long period of time, that seems to give me symptoms too. No matter what kind it is, but especially antibiotics. I can't use antibiotics, period. So if I'm sick, it's steroids and that's it. And hope that my body will get rid of it. I have a lot of major health issues, and it doesn't even look like it, but yeah, I can't eat hardly anything. I cannot eat or have anything with coconut, yeast, gluten, nightshade family. I have to avoid onions, Brussels sprouts were the last thing I cut out. I had to recently just cut out corn and soy. Corn and soy are reactants. They are hard for the body to break down, and since my body doesn't like to break down hardly anything, of course it doesn't like anything that binds things up like cheese or dairy, and the sugar for the inflammation and the swelling and nausea. I gotta avoid dairy. Sometimes I can handle eggs okay, but I can't eat them very often. As much as I absolutely love eggs. I love boiled eggs, I love fried eggs, I love scrambled eggs. But I have to limit those too. I have to limit allergic to spinach, or sensitive to it. That's one of my triggers. Tomatoes, fruit. I can't have strawberry, so no strawberry, or basically any berries. Blueberries seem to be okay with me. Cherries seem okay, and peach and watermelon. That's about it for fruit that I can eat. Ooh, mango and papaya and pineapple. But pineapple I have to be very limited on because of the acidity level. Like, my body doesn't like too much acid. So I have to limit like citrus type fruits, lemon, lime, whatever. But those aren't my mast cell triggers, so I still eat those as much as I can. Things with fiber I need to do better at eating. I've been eating a lot more oatmeal, but fiber takes a lot longer for the body to break down too, so it's kind of hard to, and that's when I usually go into my food comas, when I have fiber, or a lot of fiber. My body's just, it won't function and move around at the same time. Mast Cell Activation Syndrome is so hard to treat, and it's hard to test for. I tried the cromolyn to help my stomach to reintroduce foods. It just was never possible. And I've been doing fine with just limiting my food triggers without taking anything for my mast cell activation. Usually the first line of defense is H1, H2 blockers, which is H1 blockers are your histamines for seasonal allergies. Taking a pill for nose and congestion. That's an H1 blocker. H2 blockers are for your stomach, like Pepcid AC or anything like that that helps calm your stomach down. So H1 blockers, nose, H2 blockers, stomach, basically. And once you use those regularly for basically all your life, your body just still does not like those that mast cells that are triggering the histamine to be released, which are causing the symptoms in the stomach or the congestion in the nose. The best thing that I can do for my nose is doing my sinus rinse with my budesonide whenever I feel congested. I don't feel congested every day, but when I do feel congested, it's usually because I have something out in my neck or my first or second ribs are out. They're just not, I can't do anything about my mast cell activation except for just avoid everything. And so I feel like I have to be in like one of those little like bubbles. Like I'm allergic to the environment. I'm allergic to food. I'm allergic to hair care products. I'm allergic to stress, basically. Like too much stress will release histamine, which will keep me sick and symptomatic with my mast cell issues and mild anaphylaxis, which I've gone to the ER for so many times, and I have found going to the ER has done absolutely nothing for my mast cell trigger reactions. The only time I'll ever go to the ER again for this mast cell stuff is if I use my EpiPens, and that will be a serious case. And I really don't think will ever get to that point because of my EDS. My EDS makes everything more relaxed and hypermobile, like flexible. Everything, blood vessels, organs, connective tissue, bones, everything is just more flexible in my body. And so I believe that's why I have walked away from 15 car accidents with minor neck issues and bulges. I believe that's why I don't break bones. I'd much rather get tendonitis and get things, ligaments and soft tissue damage is what happens to me. I don't break things. I get soft tissue damage, which is a lot longer and a lot worse to heal, and nerve damage. So that's what I get to deal with. So now that I'm a half hour late to my appointment, I finally made it. Hopefully my body will be responsive today. It seems kind of problematic this morning, so I have a feeling it's going to be a very unproductive day afterwards. We'll see. Maybe my body will surprise me. Everybody else, hang in there today. Have a fantastic day. Keep smiling. Life is beautiful. Life is a gift. I'm going to live till I'm 100. I'm going to keep on fighting. I hope you all do too. Peace out.